Hello, today's topic is functional groups in carbon compounds. First of all, what are functional groups? Functional groups are those groups which are there in the carbon compounds, and those groups have their own particular properties which will be shown by that particular compound. Now here, functional group in carbon compounds, heteroatom, that means the atom other than carbon. We have either chlorine, bromine, or whatever is the atom. Class of compounds, haloalkane. Halo goes with the word halogens. It could be chloro or bromo, and functional group of formula of functional group is Cl or Br. Prefix or suffix. So prefix is used before the name of the compound, whereas suffix is used after the name of the compound. So here we use chloro, bromo, and if the heteroatom is oxygen, then there are four classes of compounds which you have to study, that is alcohol, aldehyde, ketone, carboxylic acid. For alcohol, this group is represented by OH. For aldehyde, it is C double bond OH. For ketone, C double bond O. For carboxylic acid, C double bond O, OH. Okay, and for alcohol, the suffix is -ol, which comes from the word alcohol. For aldehyde, the al. For ketone, it is -one, and for carboxylic, it is oic acid. So these are the things which you have to remember. In fact, learn for naming the compounds as well as to write the structural formulas. Next thing which you have to remember is, as many number of carbon atoms are there, which name will be corresponding to that compound. This you have already seen in the previous video. One carbon atom is there, then the word meth has to be used. 2 eth. Third, 3 carbon atoms in propane, you know the alkane series. So 4 but, 5 pent, 6 hex, 7 hept, 8 oct, 9 non, and 10 dec. So here we will study naming of the compounds. So using these many things what you have studied, you have to name the compounds. You could be either given a question to name the compounds, or you could be even asked to write the structure of that compounds. Like suppose the first thing here, you have seen this carbon compound written here. First thing what you have to do to name this compound is, you have to count the number of carbon atoms. Now let's count the number of carbon atoms. I'll start it from here. This is not carbon, this is chlorine. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Total 4 carbon atoms. That means word has to go with it, but. So for haloalkanes, I have said that the prefix have to be used. So prefix is chloro, and 4 carbon atoms are there, therefore it is known as chlorobutane. Or it could be also named as 1-chlorobutane. 1 just because this chlorine is attached to the first carbon in this compound. This goes with IUPAC name. The second one, ethanol. So ethanol, you have here 1, 2 carbons, and which group is attached? Alcohol group. So ethanol, all. So this way it comes to be ethanol. Propanal, next one. So you count the carbon, 1, 2 carbon. Here you have to count this group also. This is one of the important thing which you have to remember, that here this aldehyde group is the third carbon which you have to take into consideration. You will not take consideration for chlorine, but for other functional groups, if you see here, you have to take into consideration that. So 1 and 3 carbons are there. So 3 carbons means which word has to go? Prop. So propanal, al just because it is an aldehyde, O. Group shows aldehyde. Next, here you again count the number of carbon atoms. This is a functional group. You have seen COOH is a carboxylic acid group. So this is also a C. So count it as 1, 2, 3 and 4. So total 4 carbons, that shows but. So butanoic acid. First thing here you have to see is you have to identify the functional group. Based on that you will be naming the compound. Now in case if you have been given the structure this way, you needn't worry. This is the same as this one. Okay, it's just written in this format. So don't get confused that it is some other compound. So it's the same thing. This is written in the condensed form. Next, so again you identify the functional group. This is a ketone, C double bond O. Number of carbons 1. You will include this carbon also, which is there in the functional group 2, and the third carbon. So prop is the word which goes, and for ketone on should be used. So propanone, or this is acetone. This is a common name used here, and this is the IUPAC name. You will go with propanone. In fact, next, again you first identify the functional group OH, that means it is an alcohol. You will go with the counting 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So 5 means pen, and OH is alcohol, so you will be using the suffix ol. So pentanol. Next, here you have seen a double bond. Double bond means it is an alkene. It is shown in the previous video, alkene. So you will count the number of carbon atoms 1, 2 and 3. So prop and the word ene has to be used. It is propene. So here next one, first count 1, 2, 3 carbons, and you have a triple bond, means you will use the word ine. So 3 carbons, propyne. Next, you have seen the halo group, that is bromine here. So 1 and 2 carbons. So whenever you have a halo group, you have to write it as the prefix, not as a suffix. So bromo and 2 carbons means eth, bromoethane. Here identify the functional group CHO. Okay, if it is written as C double bond O H, then also it is the same as CHO. Okay, you don't have to get confused here. Again, counting the carbon atoms including the carbon of the functional group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So hexa is the word used, and this is aldehyde, therefore hexanal. Next, okay, this is not a condensed form. So here again you have seen a triple bond, means you will use the word ine here. Again, counting of the carbon atoms 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So it is hexyne. Now the last one, what you have found here, this is the group ketone. So again, counting of the carbon atoms 1, 2, 3 and 4. So buta, and being a ketone, butanone. I hope you have understood the naming of these carbon compounds. Thank you.